Hey everyone, this is Steve from GamersNexus.net, and today we're looking at Genius's new Gila GX gaming mouse. You can check out the full review on the website linked below, but this video is just to serve as a quick overview and give you a better visual of the product. Let's cover specs before we get into opinions. The Gila mouse is equipped with 12 total buttons. There are 2 in the traditional mouse 4, mouse 5 positions near the thumb grip, 2 on a crested ridge near the left mouse button, so it's kind of raised, it's a little bit elevated, and then 2 on the opposite side near the right mouse button in the same manner, and then 3 buttons south of the middle mouse button, and then of course left and right. And all buttons aside from left mouse can be mapped to custom macros or bindings. As I explained in a previous video, if you're interested how to do that, it is online on the channel. And the mouse uses an Avago, excuse me if I'm saying that wrong, an Avago supplied ADNS 9800 sensor. So it is not made in-house. It is supplied externally. It is the same sensor used in Logitech's G600 mouse and is rated for 8200 DPI in a step, an interval of 200 DPI. Avago's sensors can be found in pretty much any major manufacturer's mouse, including products made by Cooler Master and Logitech. So they are tested, and you've probably used them without knowing it. The sensor itself can tolerate 30 Gs of acceleration and operates at 150 IPS, placing it as average to upper class when compared against similarly priced mice in the high-end category as this one would be. In terms of other hardware found inside of the mouse, we see 32 kilobytes of memory and switches in the form of TMEC, and those are the brown switches you see in the video. TMEC switches used for the peripheral buttons, and then Omron supplied components for the left and right buttons. The buttons are rated for 8 million clicks, so the same as the original Logitech G5, but still significantly less than Logitech's new G Gaming Series products, which are rated at 20 million clicks. And that's really, both those numbers are so freaking huge that it's really hard to put it into perspective. I've been using a G5 for about 4 years now. I just stopped recently. 4 years at 8 million clicks and haven't had a problem. So that should give you an anecdotal, even outlier, non-scientific look at theoretically how long 8 million clicks would last. But let's get back to the Gila. In terms of aesthetics, the Gila mouse is obviously meant to look a bit jagged and fierce. And in the full article review, I refer to the mouse's body several times as resembling a Lamborghini almost for its overly flashy, wide butt design. It's really wide and strange toward the rear of the mouse. There are LEDs located in the front grille region, rear grille, and scroll wheel, and then one in the rear logo plate. All of these are customizable. It's standard 16 million RGB LED lighting. You can customize all of that in the software and basically make it pulse or be stable or whatever you want in pretty much any color you want, so that's pretty neat. And as a whole, the aesthetic isn't too bad. It's interesting despite my wide butt insults. But in terms of what I think of the mouse, in terms of actual opinions, it's pretty divided between functionality and ergonomics. All the buttons are within reach and very easy to configure, so I found myself using every button with great regularity when playing MMOs like Rift, and though they tended to get ignored with other mice, so like the G600, it felt really complex and kind of hard to mentally map what the buttons did in game, so some of those get ignored from time to time. But with this mouse, it actually works fairly well in MMOs just because of how distanced but reachable they are. The added buttons for multiple on-screen hotbars in MMOs is really where the mouse excels. You don't really gain much in RTS or FPS play, and because the buttons are positioned in separate geographic locations, it's easy to memorize what they do. As I said, I really would like to see more mouse companies following Genius's lead with button placement, as I think they've done it right. With that said, though, I was really disappointed by the shape of the body for the mouse. It's jagged, which is kind of cool looking, but it's really awkward to hold, and the jagged nature of the rear of the mouse makes it difficult to position at least my hand comfortably. Yours may be different, and that's a problem with reviewing mice, where we don't really have an objective way to analyze that. But for me, and I want to stress this was for me, it was uncomfortable to hold. I did get used to it, but still felt kind of weird, particularly the ring and pinky fingers, which sort of end up either dragging along the mousing surface or being awkwardly tweaked to fit on the mouse, which was very uncomfortable. If the right side of the mouse were more rounded, I think it'd be a whole lot easier to hold for those of us with wrist problems. If you have smaller hands, I think you can probably overlook everything I just said, because you probably won't have a problem at all, because the mouse really looks like it's made more for people with smaller hands. And if you don't think ergonomics are a concern for you, but you really do like the button functionality of the Gila, well, definitely look into getting it. And with that, I'll leave you to check out the full review linked below for more details, more opinions. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments below. I will see you all next time. Peace.